in the building, kicking with us right now. We have
a legend.
A legend.
Starting it.
Let's not even play ourselves.
Right.
Oh, don't play yourself.
Okay. Virgil Grant. He's the king of L.A. At one time, he owned 6 dispensaries.
More money, more money. I know you hear that all the time. Hey, fam, doing bad out here. Tell us about how you got started, man.
So I got started back in the early days, late 80s. We're talking 30 years in the game. And, Compton was the town that I was, I guess you could say ripping and running in.
Yes, sir.
Riding up down the streets. Everybody was it Compton swap meet?
Oh, yeah, that was on the other side. I was off.
That's Linwood, right?
Yeah, well, that's close to Linwood. That's borderline Linwood, Compton.
Lewis Park, that's the borderline right there.
Yeah, that's the borderline. Yeah, I was on the other side on 124th and Wilmington.
So you ain't even got to add the other street to say 124. I know you.
Did you ever see him on the corner?
Prostitute.
Oh, wow. Really?
He's
Wasn't
cute.
gonna go there.
Hey, dolphin shorts.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, bikers back in them days.
With the Georgetown jackets.
I want to talk about that with your K-Swiss on. Look here.
Hilarious.
So early 80s you started.
Late 80s.
Late 80s, I'm sorry.
84,
started.
85.
And here we are, 2017, and they legalize it.
In some states.
In some states.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, kind of here, if I'm not mistaken, right?
So let me correct that.
Please do.
California has been 21 years strong in medical marijuana. So
Okay.
we're talking 21 years we've been in existence as a state having marijuana for medical purposes legalized. So we have a deep history here, and if it wasn't for Los Angeles and the owners and operators back in the early days, there wouldn't be a Colorado or Oregon or Washington.
Yeah.
This war for cannabis to be legalized was fought off of the backs of L.A. owners and operators.
Okay.
Which was going through the doctors, in a sense, right?
Going through the doctors, but we were also receiving a lot of federal intervention back then, so it was a little different climate under the Bush administration.
Okay.
So being in the game, is Humboldt County where that's where it is?
Humboldt County was the epicenter of cultivation. Humboldt,
Up north.
it's about a 12-hour drive
Act like
from
you don't know,
here.
Speedy.
So that was the epicenter. That's where the product was grown.
Okay.
I would travel up north, 12 hours, pick up my
No sleep.
no sleep, no eat, no sleep.
Yeah.
You pull over, there may be a wrap.
Yeah.
Damn, Taco Bell wasn't worth it.
Yeah, so I'd go up there, grab my product, come back down, and distribute in Compton.
So this 84, 85.
No, this is a little later than that. We talking 88, 89, late 80s.
So a pound at that time was going for like 6, 7.
Oh, about 6,500.
Okay.
On a good day, maybe 63, 64.
Yeah.
And you're getting back, what, a dub?
Oh, shoot.
You're getting sexy back. You just leave it like that.
It was all good. That's all I can say.
Now you're not bagging it up. Are you trash bagging or are you just?
Oh, no. See, I wasn't no bag man. My thing wasn't to be on those street corners selling bags.
Right.
My job was, or my goal was to supply the streets.
Got you.
And let everybody continue to do what they do, but eat a little more. So my margin in between the next man that was there was greater. So to want to work with me was a benefit because I had the best product in town for the cheapest price.
Now, as people
But wait. Now, so you in Linwood, you in Compton, got that sold up. You Long Beach. How far west did you come up from?
3 projects back in that day, and I started moving west up into to Crenshaw, because I actually had a shop on 48th and Crenshaw.
Yes, you did.
I was the first one on Crenshaw.
Wait a minute, 48. I know what that is.
Yeah, 48th and Crenshaw.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
By the barbershop?
I was 4709 Crenshaw Boulevard.
Church's Chicken.
Right across the
knows
street.
food spots.
Yeah.
That's my hood.
Yeah. So I covered a lot of territory in that direction. So of course I had everything on the hill coming down.
Yes, sir.
The Dons, Windsor Hill,
Dons,
Ladera.
Yeah.
That was all my territory. So
All right, so you go from there. Now, how do you go from there to say, okay, now it's legal in a sense. And getting your first store, even though you may have had a felony record, how you were able to get that store?
Just not taking no for an answer, and wanting to transition from the illicit market into the legal market, and I did so. So I opened up my first store, 1321 East Compton Boulevard, because I wanted to service my community. At that time, there were about maybe 6 stores open, and they were all in West Hollywood and Hollywood. Yeah. So there was nothing south of, I would even go as far as nothing south of Olympic.
Yeah.
Purposely done?
I mean,
zoning.
Wow.
Not really.
Not really?
It was just that nobody in that direction had the guts or the balls to open up a shop at that time.
Gotcha.
Because we talking 2004 when I opened up my first shop.
Okay.
So, I was only servicing that area from San Diego all the way up through Riverside. There was no shops in Long Beach. There was no shops anywhere.
In the Empire,
exactly. So I had a lot of people coming from those areas to that Compton location.
So people lined up. Now, they have to bring, at that time, you had to have a card or some kind of...
You had to have a doctor's recommendation.
Okay. And then are you getting rated all the time because you were in that area and being a black man?
No, actually, I got raided 3 times, but it wasn't all the time. I got raided twice and then indicted. So I spent 6 years in federal prison for owning and operating licensed medical marijuana facilities.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah. No. So if you get what you just said, so do you have these licenses to go, look, I'm legal, I'm legit? Are you handing them paperwork to say that I'm legit?
No doubt. The judge even asked, my attorney, was I licensed in every facility? And I had the paperwork, yes.
Yeah.
So, back then this was under the Bush administration when they were full on attack.
First Bush.
Yes.
First Bush. 41.
No,
Bush.
The second Bush.
Bush 43.
Yes. And this was, they were full on attack on California and medical marijuana.
Okay.
So I was under that type of scrutiny. But they had raided, a month before me, they raided Hollywood, 11 shops on Santa Monica and Sunset.
Okay.
Nobody got arrested.
Wow.
A month later, they come hit me.
Get the digger.
Where is he? Light skin. He's light skin.
He's still one of them.
Yeah.
Wow. So you go. They send you away for 6 years.
Yes.
So it's 2010 when you come home.
No, actually, when I went away, it was roughly around 2008 and 9 when the indictment came down. I came home in 2014.
Wow.
So you fed time, right?
Oh, this fed time.
So you fighting it at the same time because you got paperwork, you legit. Are they?
Ain't no fight.
The feds.
Yeah. I did. I went into it like I'm not taking no deal.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they pulled my wife in, and that was the that was the deal.
Tipping point.
I have 5 daughters, so I
you must
couldn't.
have been a player.
I couldn't let her get caught up in it and nobody to be home to take care of the kids.
Right.
So I just went on and took what they call an open plea, which is the deal. And then the judge, stand before the judge, and the judge will give you whatever time he see fit.
Okay.
Wow.
Now,
and how long had you been in when you go do that deal?
Well, I had bailed out.
Oh, okay.
So I got bail, which
How much was bail?
Rare, $250,000. So that was rare to get bail.
I'll be right
bail.
back, nigga.
So is federal 10% of the 200,000 too as well?
No.
10.
No.
And 100.
No.
I'm just asking.
Nah, you pay.
I need all that.
They want to appraise your house.
Okay.
If you don't, because first of all, you got to prove that that's not illegitimate money or money coming from the sales of marijuana. So we had to put up my house and my mom's house to cover the 250.
Okay.
And then I bailed out. They put an ankle bracelet on me, and I was being monitored. I really wasn't on house arrest. I just couldn't leave the Central District of California.
So you get out, and then you say, "Well, I'm finna go back into what I know, which is I'm gonna get another one."
Well,
with a bracelet on.
well, with the bracelet on.
That's what I'm saying, because they monitor your movements. So
they monitor my movements.
crazy.
Man, I was like Shaq. I was hard in the paint.
That's right.
So
that's right, V.
You know what I'm saying? I do what I know how to do.
Right.
And that's what I did. And so I went and opened back up my shops and got things back cracking. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. A lot of people in this industry, and I say one thing. They say, "Oh, we're serious about what we do. We're, this is what we love to do." And I say, "Are you really? What are you willing to give? Because I was on pre-trial, monitored by the federal government, and I still handle my business.
That part, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I truly believe in to the very end.
Right.
And so, once I had to surrender and do my time, which I actually didn't surrender, they took me to do my time, and I got out. My thought process in there was that I got to jump back in front of the line and finish what I came to do.
And at that point, how many dispensaries did you have when you came back out? Did you start another 3, 4?
3, because ironic, because I never had to close my dispensaries down while I was gone.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. No, they never told me, "Oh, you got to shut them down." I didn't have to close
because they're getting a percentage of that as well, right?
Well, I mean, when you pay taxes, the federal government get a piece of that. Right. So, they never told me I had to shut my stores down. So they were still open while I was in federal prison.
Okay.
I ended up having to close them down because when the boss away, mice play.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
so I had folks reaching into my pocket that I couldn't get. I couldn't get to.
Right.
So
can't lean on them.
Yeah.
Number to call into if you have a question for Virgil is 747-888-3082. Any question you want to ask, he's here. So now you're back and going, and you have how many right now?
3.
And they're in the hood or?
Yeah. I like to stay where I'm comfortable.
It's money in the ghetto. It's money in the ghetto.
Good in the hood.
Yes, money in the ghetto. Too Short said that.
Yeah, it's all good in the hood. So my goal was to finish the work that because I was an advocate 2 years before I opened up my store, and I was also working with the Los Angeles City Council to create some form of a regulatory framework for LA, and this is back in 2006 and 7. That work was undone. When I got home, LA had not been licensed. So it was time for me to now take it to the next level. Jump back in, and I started 2 organizations. One was Southern California Coalition, which represents the entire industry, cultivators, manufacturers, so on and so forth, and California Minority Alliance, which Donnie Anderson is my partner, co-founder. And that organization represents minorities coming into the cannabis space. So when people say, "Well, who is CMA?" or "What is CMA?" and I tell them we're the NAACP of the cannabis industry.
That's the California Minority Alliance.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, I get this all the time, and a lot of people in my family, they always like, "Oh, we need to start a dispensary." Is it that easy, or is it a long, drawn-out process? Because when I'm reading, I've actually read up on some stuff, and it seems like it's harder than what people think legally.
Oh, legally. It's a compliance thing now, which makes the process a little more arduous to go through and deal with. To get in now. Back in my day,
right.
In the early days, it was simple. It didn't couple of $1,000, maybe $50,000, you could open up a shop. You can get your license, and you could be up and running in no time. Now these days, you got super shops, a couple of $1 million to
pop-up shops.
Exactly.
So a couple mil?
Well, you shoot the licensing process. Yeah, absolutely. A couple of just going through your licensing process, you're gonna spend about maybe $60,000-$70,000. That's just for the application process.
Wow.
So it wasn't like it was a couple of $100 got me my BTRC, which is your tax registration, business tax registration certificate. A couple of $100 and I'm in the game. So
are you still under tobacco, firearms, and alcohol? Are you qualified in that?
We have to have a tobacco license in order to operate because we carry tobacco product, which are your bongs and so on and so forth.
Right.
You have to have a tobacco license. You know, your retail sales license from the State Board of Equalization, and then your city license.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, we have a call. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hello, this is
Hey, caller.
I have a question.
There you go. We
There
can
we
hear
go.
you.
We can hear you.
Okay, great. Who do you bank with? Like, how did you get a business account?
Tom Teasy.
How did you get a business?
Shoebox records.
Who do I bank with?
Well, in theory, you ain't got to give it.
I know
Well, I'm
that's
at
right.
Charles and Bank on
Mattress.
The bank of backyard.
That's right.
Deposit at will.
Duffel Bag Love.
Yes. No charges, no fees. Just dig a ditch.
Right.
I like to speak to teller. That's me.
So, what?
No, go ahead.
What kind of we have to get dynamic in this industry at this time, and I can't give up too much game. What we open up now are what we call management companies, and those management companies manage the business. So that management company does the banking for the business.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
You writing this down, Tonteezy?
Yeah, I'm
You
writing
get
it
it
down
down?
too. Where's a pen?
Thank you, Tom Teasy, for interrupting us.
Free game.
Virgil
Free
in the
game.
building.
Free game.
Getting that game.
I want to go back to trial.
Go ahead.
Did they bring any surprise witnesses to assassinate your character? And
No.
None of that?
Let me tell you something. Realistically, we went into court and we were killing the United States attorney.
yeah, paperwork.
I mean, literally, there was not. If we were to check a score or who won in court and who lost in court, hands down, there wouldn't be too many checks on the other side.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like I said, once they brought other elements into play, my wife and so on and so forth, it didn't matter how many times we won in court, and the government has a way of,
Pulling no
bring
emotional strings.
They
Yeah.
sure
Bring
do.
you around.
talk to you in a different way, make you understand.
Hit you with the psst, let me talk to you over here.
Yeah.
That's when it go bad.
Let me holler at you.
Yeah.
Well, I hear like a lot of ex NBA players, they have cannabis shops, but back east, I guess it's a lot leaner going back
Or
east.
Midwest is leaner, like Colorado.
Well, you'd be surprised. There are a lot of ball players actually right here in California
I know.
that own businesses here in California, cultivation sites and shops, or manufacturing licenses. So this is it's now becoming a full-blown industry and a business where people are willing to invest money. You have companies investing $15 to $20 million into this industry. So this is no longer a plaything.
Fly
When
by
you have
night.
a company
Mom and pop.
that's willing to put that type of money into an industry.
Now, earlier you were saying how they're going to shut everybody down and then open up. Explain that.
Yeah, well, it's going to be basically a reset. And so in
Kind of like what we did in the show.
Yeah, pretty much. So in LA, you have your pre-ICOs, which have been open predating 2007.
So that'll be like your first 100 shops.
Exactly. Your first 100, maybe 130 to 50 at the most, will be able to go through licensing. And then you will come in, and the second piece is the minority equity piece, which CMA was a huge component of getting that put into the ordinance. And the equity piece ensures that people of color have a fair opportunity to enter into the cannabis space, not just to be workers, but to be owners and operators. So, we want to have our stake in this industry as well. We've been locked up, but we don't want to be locked out.
That part.
Right.
That part.
Get that tatted.
I'm writing all that shit down.
Right?
That's a
Can you
t-shirt.
grow at home legally now? If you do have the paperwork and you are a caretaker, let's say of a few people, and you have that paperwork, is there a couple amount of plants you can have at home?
State of California allows you to grow 6 plants at your home.
Got any seeds on you? No, I'm just kidding.
Six plants at the house,
6 plants at the house.
and they're checking, or they may come through. You don't know. How's that
Well, depends on how the municipality is. So What the state has done is given a regulatory framework on the state level, but they also have allowed each city to set its regulations the way it sees fit. So, one side of town is not going to regulate like the other side of town.
Okay, gotcha.
That municipality has the authority to say, well, we need to do this different than over here because of these factors. So the state has given each municipality the governance to do as they see fit within their city.
Now, on your 6 plants, they still want to get paid. It ain't like you can grow 6 and you ain't got a chip.
Well, you have two different types of if you're growing recreational, then some cities may have a certificate that you will need to grow your 6 plants or a permit.
Gotcha.
However that city sees or deems to do it. And then you have under the Caregivers Act, which is the Compassionate Use Act, which is what created medical marijuana in 1996.
Wow.
That still allows you to grow those 6 plants under the Caregivers Act of a nonprofit, so you don't pay anything, no taxes or anything on that.
So I'm driving in my car and I have some weed on me, and I get pulled over.
Allegedly.
How much do I have to have in order for them to take me in? I'm just curious.
She just
I
being
got
open.
a couple of joints on me. You know what I'm saying, or what?
At this point, it depends on who you are. So if you're just
I have my license. I
Yeah,
got my license.
if you're a normal patient and you have, and we'll talk about right now, real time. If you're just a regular patient and you're under the Compassionate Use Act, you can keep, have up to 8 ounces in your
8 ounces
possession,
in possession.
which is a half a pound. If
I'm
you
trying to do the math to carry it forward.
yeah, that's right.
Right there?
No. Let's talk about right here.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So yes.
Like a burger.
If you're going under recreational, which is not implemented till 2018, you can only have an ounce in your possession.
Which is how
A lot.
Okay, which is take away 7 from that half a pound.
Okay.
And
Can't carry
7
the
ounces.
four.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you have a sample on you?
So that's how that would operate under the Compassionate Use Act and under recreational. If you are a store owner and I just happen to be coming from my cultivation site to my shop, then we talking a whole nother ball game. I got
But
10.
you have to say that right off the top.
Well, yeah, you have to also have your documentation with you to prove and show that you are an owner and operator of a medical marijuana facility, and you are going from your licensed cultivation facility to your licensed shop. So that has to be shown, not coming from your illegal shop to your illegal grow and back and forth. That's
This
a whole
sounds
different
like,
thing.
to me, if you about to do this, you have to be on your P's and Q's, cross all your T's, all that. It can't be like, oh, I think I want to do this kind of thing. You have to literally
Homework.
both feet in.
You know, the thing is once again, this is an industry, and in any industry that you go into, there's a set of guidelines, a set of regulations, and a set of rules that you have to abide by. This is no different. And so, if you are going to enter into the cannabis space, I would highly recommend do it the right way.
That's what
You
I
know,
wanna get.
we have a tendency of always trying to, run
Shortcut.
on that other
Freelancing.
side.
Yeah.
And all of that is getting ready to come to a screeching halt. Believe me, enforcement is getting ready to get handed down with a heavy hand in a few months.
And they're going to shut everybody down.
Everybody except for the pre-ICOs.
ICOs.
And then they'll come back, and then you get in back in line.
Yes, and they'll open up licensing, and you can submit your application to get licensed.
Are you on the board for this type of movement?
Actually, I am. I'm one of the major components of Proposition M, funding it and passing it in the city of Los Angeles.
Wow. But you can't drive though with on weed. It's a DUI.
Yeah,
But
still
people
a-
know it's still a
Yeah, it's still a DUI. It's
Don't think you
drinking
can
and
just
driving, smoking
a
and
cop will
driving. Yeah.
put a Twinkie in front of you and
Yeah.
put you in.
In other
Really?
words, you cannot.
Yeah.
In other words, you cannot consume while you driving down the street. In other words, smoke flying out the window.
No,
or
you
flying
will go
in
to
your
jail like you drank.
Exactly, but
I heard.
that still is an area we're working out on the state level as well as local for someone who consumes and then is on their way to work or on their way to handle their business or do whatever they do in their normal day, and to have cannabis within their system.
Now, with you being in the game 30 years plus, on the books they have heroin, cocaine, and marijuana in that same
category.
That same category.
No, they don't.
They don't?
No.
Okay, could you explain that?
Okay, so, and this is what a lot of people don't know. All of those drugs minus marijuana are a Schedule 2 drug.
Okay.
Marijuana is a Schedule 1.
Okay.
So you got to ask
Along
yourself.
with what? Schedule 1. What else is Schedule 1?
What's before heroin and cocaine?
That's what I would think. I'm
Sherm?
not familiar with the full list of drugs, but they're way severe and a lot harsher and harmful than cannabis by far. But you have to ask, why is marijuana a Schedule 1 drug and those other drugs that we have seen that are harmful and that have killed people not? So we have to understand that politically and economically, it was a hidden agenda.
Now, the reason why I asked that, did that come up
Agreed.
at you at trial? Did that situation come up with the level 1 versus the level 2? Did they hit you with
the only
that?
thing they told me is that because it was a Schedule 1 drug, one, I could not use medical marijuana. I couldn't use that terminology. I couldn't say that in court. I couldn't say patients. I couldn't say caregiver.
Wow.
I couldn't use any of that terminology.
Because
so I
it's a
could,
level 1.
because
Wow.
it's a Schedule 1 drug.
Schedule 1, yeah.
And the feds do not recognize or did not recognize its medicinal value.
Right.
So I went in and I was convicted as a common drug dealer.
All right, we got
That's
phone
what I was trying to get
call.
at.
We got phone
Let's take
call.
this call. Caller, what's your name and where you calling
These
from?
callers.
Hey, call.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
we
you
can.
can.
Go right ahead.
I wanted to know about people in your place. I'm sorry, I came on late, so I didn't catch your name.
It's okay, Virgil.
Virgil Grant.
You said, okay. Are you guys, the people that have been in the business for a long time, are you guys invested in the younger people, in the, I want to say, the millennials that are active and definitely interested in starting this business? Are you guys invested in that?
Yes, we CMA, California
Thank you for
Minority
your call.
Alliance. Yes, thank you. We have a mentorship program, which we are investing in the millennials, and what we do is tell the millennials as well is to because the millennials came in the tech era, so they're very tech savvy. And so I encourage them to look at other areas. See, we talk about dispensary because that's what we've seen.
Right.
But we don't talk about the tech part of this business. There's a company that makes $100 million a year, and they don't touch the plant. And that company is named Weed Maps.
Oh, yeah.
And all they do is advertise.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I encourage
Wow.
a lot of our millennials to look at other places. We need packaging. So we spend literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on our packaging alone. So they could create some savvy packaging that is required from the state for us to package our product in. There are ancillary parts of this business that make millions of dollars.
Testing.
And so, yeah, exactly. So I don't want us to just think that it's just about cultivation
No.
and
It's-
owning a
no.
shop.
We have another good question from Tan, the lady who called earlier. She wants me to ask about the rules and regulations for liquid weed, the oils, the pens. Is that different than, regular
The
marijuana?
flower.
The flower. Good.
No, it's all cannabis at the end of the day.
Okay.
So it's going to be regulated pretty much the same. Now, as far as manufacturing, then that's what kind of type of license you would get for doing and they're called concentrates. To do concentrates, you would need a manufacturing
Wow.
license. To own a collective, you would need a dispensary license. Collective representing this what we call dispensaries, the theater storefront.
And the concentrates are more illegal to get pulled over with, I hear. Is that true?
Not at this time, because concentrates are now a part of this industry and a part of the ordinances. So it's no longer where they can consider that illegal. It's now legal.
Oh, wow.
If you're just tuning in, we got my man Virgil Grant in the building, telling
Legend.
us, legend, born and raised, Linwood.
LA's finest?
Yeah. So you can call in, ask a question, and you have 3 dispensaries right now, up
Yes.
and going.
In LA.
Do you have family? How do you go?
Yeah, how do
Fam hit you up, they want to work there. Is it like?
Yeah, I mean, friends and family, want to get into the business. I kept a lot of my friends and family out of the business because of the gray area. I didn't want them to have to go through what I went through.
Right.
Now that things are a little different and the climate is different, I can welcome them in. But I wanted to make sure that coming back that things were established so I could bring them back into a well-established program, not
safe,
not something I'm
chugging along.
Yeah.
You don't want to visit them anywhere else.
Exactly.
Now, as far as your security, you still got to make sure that's tight. Because,
security definitely has to be tight. But, ironically enough, I've never had security in any of my shops.
Don't say that.
Allegedly.
It is what it is. I come from where I come from.
Yes, sir.
And I'm comfortable where I come from. And the communities that I operate in, it's mad respect. So I don't have those issues that other people may have.
That's real.
So I'm embraced by the community, welcomed by the community. And I'm not just talking about my age group, but I'm talking about the youth as well as the elderly. So I'm embraced by the community because that was something we had to do to educate the community on Proposition M.
And what you were doing.
Exactly. I had to meet with all of the neighborhood councils. And those are all of your elderly, your churchgoers, your elderly women and men, and so on and so forth. So I had to meet with them face to face and educate them on cannabis within their community and how Proposition M would help clean up, close down, and now regulate medical marijuana facilities that would operate good within the communities. And I know that everyone is still waiting for enforcement to come in, because we are too. But just a few more months and enforcement will be here to shut down a lot of those rogue shops, because I've been getting a lot of complaints from the elderly about the rogue shops. And understand we are doing our job and we're going to make it happen.
How do they stay open, these rogue shops? There's places in the valley up until midnight, 3 in the morning. How are they available at these times for so long?
Right now, enforcement has been relaxed due to this transition period from Proposition D to Proposition M. So once Proposition M is fully implemented, then the enforcement is coming down with a heavy hand.
Now, when you open a shop in whatever the area is, when you're giving back to, are you building up the stuff around you? So, like, let's say there's vacant buildings down the street. Are you going, hey, we're going to do something with this? Is that what you're telling the people in the neighborhoods? That's what you're going to do?
I would hope so, as that's why I operate in the communities that I come from. My mom stays right around the corner from one of my shops. So I'm in my community. You see what I'm saying? So anything I can do to build up that community. If I do see a vacant that I can obtain and then turn it into something that's good and positive for the community. I like to do giveaways around Christmas time, Thanksgiving.
Let me give you my number before you leave.
Giveaways here too.
We like to give back to the community. It's not about always taking, it's about giving back.
Yes.
So we work with local nonprofit organizations, and that's one thing that we have within Proposition M, is that anyone applying for a license, we incentivize that they work with the local community, nonprofit organizations within their community to do some form of a give back. That's an incentive in your application process, because we're not about you just coming into our community and taking from it and go back where you come from. Give back, give something.
Now, do you advertise, like radio, newspaper? How do you get the word out? Just a
I'm old school. I've been in this from day one, and word of mouth is probably one of the strongest things. I know social media is big, and I've just started to get into the social media, but I've never had to advertise. Mine has always been word of mouth.
But check this out, Virgil. Virgil Grant presents Weed Wednesday Radio.
Sound like a plan to me.
Sound like a winner to me.
I'm
just throwing it out there.
I'm all in. Whatever I can do to help the community, to educate the community. We part of the community.
See my community skin right here.
I'm just real light.
I know that. So it's that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's what can you do? We benefit from the community, but can we have the community benefit from us as well?
Wow.
Is this a positive thing within the community?
Right.
You know.
People are in our chat room saying he's the real ghost from Power. You watch that? You watch that show?
I actually saw a couple of episodes of that, and I'm gonna have to get back on it. Hey, but back in my early days, yeah.
Now let's get back to the early days. Humboldt County. How many acres did you have?
133 acres in southern Humboldt.
It's a lot of land.
So that's where I first started cultivating outdoor greenhouse. Before it was even popular, people were still growing indoors, and the reason why outdoor greenhouse wasn't super popular is because of CAMP and MET. So CAMP is it's called Campaign Against Marijuana Plants. It was a federal organization that would fly helicopters over people's crops and drop down, pull them up, raid them, and then you had MET, Marijuana Eradication Team. So these were the two organizations that was funded by and Budweiser and Marlboro. So that's why a lot of Humboldt County people did not drink Budweiser and did not smoke Marlboros because of that. So if you if you one of the hippies in the hills,
right?
And I love the beach. So I'm a beach bum / hippie.
That's right.
Because I was up in the hills in the backwoods as well as hanging out here in Southern California. Right. So these were the organizations that were existing. So that's why everything was done indoor to hide from the government.
Wow.
Once that relaxed in 2010, and Obama put out that 8-page directive telling the federal government to hands off of the any state that has a medical marijuana law, then that's when you started seeing outdoor greenhouses pop up.
Okay. Now, as far as let's say you want to get more traffic to come to your shop, and you might say, "Oh, I'm good right now," whatever it may be. How do you do that? How do you say, okay, like if we would say, would you give your information where the shop is if you want to come there?
Yeah, because people are asking me.
Yeah.
If
they want to just deal with you, they like how you talk, they like what they're hearing.
I've never seen our chat room so interested in anything.
Usually, they're like, "Nigga, what a joke."
You got fans.
Well, the thing is that I'm about doing it the right way. I'm about making it happen, the right way. If I'm the face of medical marijuana in the city of Los Angeles, yes, which I'm the president of the largest trade organization here in this country, cannabis trade organization. I want to make sure things are done right. Basically it's not on my watch. It's not going to be raggedy on my watch. I'm going to make sure that it's done right and that my legacy is left. Okay, he was the one about getting it done the right way.
Facts.
So 1445 West Century Boulevard.
Write this down.
Yes.
Los Angeles 90047. It's my shop MedX, that's one of them, and the other one is on Melrose. It's actually just west of Western, and the address there is 963. And I'm blanking out. 963 Melrose.
Okay. And if they come and they say rollout show, you just gonna wait. That's fine. Pay what you gotta pay.
And you can always go online. It's Western Caregivers Group, MedX now, not the other MedX, because there's another Fugazi out there faking like they me.
That's old school right there, B.
Fugazi. You're officially from LA, right? Fugazi, nigga. hey, get this nigga up out my face, man. Some of these Fugazi ass watches out here.
You know what I'm saying?
Is that a fossil, nigga?
Yeah. Faking a fraud. You know what I'm saying? All that faking a fraud.
Hey, nigga, this Fugazi nigga about my face, man.
Stick out my core.
My core.
Okay.
So, I grew up at 88th and Normandy.
Oh, yeah.
Where you at? You grew up?
I'm all over, man.
Shut up.
Okay.
Yeah, 88th and Normandy.
Okay. So back in the day, when I was young, I went to. I stayed on 79th in between Normandy. And what's
I used
that?
to play
Vermont.
at St. Andrews Park all day long.
Oh yeah. Well, I run at St. Andrews every Saturday. So if y'all want to come get your run on every Saturday morning,
what you trying to say?
What time?
Shoot, I'm up like 7 in the morning getting my run on around that little rubber track.
Yes, sir.
I got a bad knee.
I
So you do a little skipping.
Disclaimer.
Oh no! I run. I'm on a soft surface. But, I drag you around the track. You know, I'm an ex-athlete. Number
You
one.
was Linwood finest.
Man, Linwood's finest.
What year you graduated?
1985, all the way
79,
live.
75.
You run the 100? Did you run the 100?
No, I was 400. I was a quarter miler. 400, 300 hurdles in Linwood, and then when I went to college, 400 hurdles in the 400.
Okay.
In the words of TDP. So,
I was a water horse.
Yeah. What college did you go to?
I went to Cal State LA.
Okay.
Yeah. Cal
so
State
again, man, because we know you got somewhere you have to be. How can people reach you, get in touch with you, be a part of what's going on? Go one more time.
Two organizations that I represent: California Minority Alliance. For those minorities wanting to be in the cannabis space. So go on CaliforniaMinorityAlliance.com. And then the Southern California Coalition. That is the entire industry that we represent. SouthernCaliforniaCoalition.com. You can reach me through those websites at any time.
You have a workshop coming up?
Yes, actually, we have a workshop coming up tomorrow, to be exact.
Talk about
I
it.
want to go.
Hold on.
And what does it entail?
Is it? I hope it's not during the day. Is it during the
Okay,
day?
so it's a licensing workshop sponsored by CMA, California Minority Alliance, October the 12th. And the time is 10 o'clock. And if I can give out the address.
Yes, please do.
Please do.
Exposition. Hold on, let me get this.
Where's your
information.
assistant at?
Yeah,
Is that her right here on the phone?
Hey, Marie.
That's
she
Marie.
ain't doing
PR.
a good job.
Yeah, you're fired.
Nah, she's
You
doing a
guys do
great
her
job.
too?
Yeah.
No, that's why Hillary lost.
Platinum PR.
So
in
it's
the
at
building.
10 a.m. Exposition, and let me pull up the address here.
Please do.
Please forgive me.
No, take your
That's
time.
okay.
But
And we're
hurry
going
up.
to, Nick, put that information up.
It is 700 Exposition Park Drive at Wallace Annenberg Building.
Oh,
Okay.
Miss Annenberg.
And
Be
it's
on time,
the
black people.
Muse Room. Yes, and the number to contact is 855-760-9832 for information about the event.
Get the number one more time.
One more time.
The number is 855-760-9832.
And what time is it? It's at from.
It's 10 a.m.
And what's the price?
We'll be here.
Oh, it's free. What? So look, this is the most important part. We're having the state of California come down. So they're talking about licensing on a state level. We have Laurier Jacks, Reggie Jones Sawyer, Go Biz, which is funding from out of Governor Brown's office, and we have a couple of other food and ag regulatory framework entities coming from the state to speak to our membership about what you need to do to prepare for licensing. How do you need to get in line? So this is really for everyone. This is a must-attend event.
Man.
If you have any interest in cannabis in the industry,
Oh God, I wish I
this is a must-attend event.
Sentiment.
I can't even stress that enough.
So you heard it here, right on the Rollout Show, what you need to do. We're going to post that information
Tomorrow.
on tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Don't come
October
late.
12th.
If you come late, you ain't
We'll
trying to
put
be
it on our
serious.
social media.
Oh yeah.
You
You
ain't
come
serious.
late, you're not serious about this industry. You know what I'm saying?
And
Yeah.
they want you to be
So
serious.
there's a panel.
Oh, there's a panel, and it's
Really?
one of the
Legit
strongest
plan,
panels
yeah.
that we've had down here in quite some time, giving all of the information about what you need to do to apply for your state licensing.
Okay.
Because we have to be dual licensed, so that you listeners understand. You have to be licensed first in your local municipality, and then you have to apply for your state license.
All right, so, and another thing he did say is that you can do other things to be involved. You can work on
Packaging.
packaging.
Yeah.
You can do advertising.
Apps.
So there's other ways you can be involved.
Radio show.
Yeah, radio show.
There
Or you
go.
could be the roller. If you the roller,
Or the
be the
baker.
roller.
You can bake. You
The
can make edibles.
packager. Oh yeah.
So again, thank you so very much, brother. We know you had a long day, especially coming from LA down here to the Valley. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Marie, who makes
she's fabulous.
All our guests are she all right. You were there.
Honor and a pleasure.
I don't know what we would do without her. Really,
I'm humbled to be here on this talk show on
thank you.
Rollout Studio.
Thank you, bro. And anytime you want to come back,
we love
and bring samples. Come on back.
Don't bring it that Fugazi stuff.
Hey, well, just to let y'all know, CC is called CCOG, California Cannabis OG. It is the best, and when I say this, so I want y'all to listen very clear. It is the best in the country. There is not a strain better. You bring me a strain better than what I have, I'll give you a unit for free. That's how bad I stand on mine.
Now, Virgil, how many strains are there?
No, there's thousands of strains.
Okay.
But the CCOG reigns supreme.
CCOG.
California Cannabis OG.
California.
Fugazi, nigga.
Only the best grows in the West.
Will they be able, because people are asking me, will somebody be recording the workshop, or they can get the DVD or something?
We will have someone recording the workshop.
Yeah,
so you can reach out to CMA.
If they can't make it.
Yes, you can reach out to CMA. I wish we would live stream this, but unfortunately, I don't think we are prepared to live stream it. But we will.
I could bring my phone.
Yeah,
we got to work something out. Actually, if we know about it.
Now this is what I want to know. You just hit it with the CCOG. What was the strand that you supplied Death Row Records with?
Oh, it was that Purple.
Yeah,
when Purple first came out, and Snoop and all of them, Dre had Purple. That was my Purple.
Right.
The Chronic album. That was pretty much built around the herb that I was, putting out there, because there wasn't no herb smoked in Compton that didn't come from me.
Right.
Coolio, like I said, you can't name MC8, Easy, and his son. He used to come through my shop on Compton. I mean, there isn't a Compton rapper that has not had my cannabis. So.
Okay, I'm sorry. One more question. They want to know. I know you got to go. What makes weed good? Like, what the strain? You said the CCOG is the top of the line. What makes it the best?
One is the genetics. You have to have good genetics.
Write that down.
And then it's the cultivator and the care that he puts in or she puts into his or her product. Mine is all organic. I do not put any pesticides, no pelos, none of that. I don't have anything negative, and it's tested by CannaSafe Analytics, which is one of the only or one of the few pre-ISO certified labs, testing labs. So my stuff is all organic. When you taste CCOG versus anything, you clearly are like, okay, I clearly see the difference. Right. And forgive me for not coming well prepared.
That's okay.
Let me tell you something.
We're gonna follow you home.
See you on the track.
And let me tell you, there was never a time where you didn't see me and I wasn't,
prepared.
I wasn't prepared.
Right. It would be.
We'll let you slide today.
So did you learn your green thumb when you had the 133 acres? That's where you got your green from?
Yes, I did. Absolutely.
Veteran.
Well, again, Virg, thank you so very much, man, for enlightening us. Is what this was. And I don't smoke,
but you do eat.
Which means I need to smoke.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so very much. The door is open anytime you want to come back to enlighten our group. You just let us know you're on your way. You got a seat. We will move motherfuckers out the way. So you heard about that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm honored, man. I'm honored.
I will move all Fugazis.
Yeah, get them Fugazis out the way.
It's the Rollout Show. We'll take a quick break. Come right back. Don't move. We got a whole lot more show that you can actually hear.